Customs Act 1962, about section 12, which we refer as the charging section. The title of the section is Dutiable Goods. The section tells us that duty is applicable for both imports and exports, whether for government and non-government, and to refer Customs Tariff Act 1975 and any other law time being in force. So from this we went to the Customs Tariff Act 1975. Okay, and there we saw section 1, which gave the title as the Customs Tariff Act 1975, commencement and extent. Commencement is the start date and extent is the scope of the act. We went to section 2. We were referred to schedule 1, which talks about duties for imports, and schedule 2, which talks about duties for exports. In fact, this particular section talks about the application of basic customs duty. Okay, so we have it as a standard rate mentioned in schedule. So here we understood there are two types of duties. One is the ad valorem, which is called on value, and the duty is portrayed in a percentage form. And the second one is a specific duty, which is on unit. So it is indicated in some rupees, so and so per unit of measurement, whatever. Okay. From here, we went to the next section, that is section 3, which spoke about additional duty. Now, section 3, subsection 1. Now, what is additional duty? It is over and above your section 2 of Customs Tariff Act 1975 duty. So it's not a substitute duty, it is to be applicable over and above. That means section 2 duty also applies and section 3 duty will also apply. In that we have subsections. So subsection 1 spoke about equal to excise duty. Okay, what is equal to excise duty? Additional duty equal to excise duty. It is levied to counterbalance excise duty that is levied on locally manufactured articles. Okay, so here we saw a situation. If the article or the product is alcoholic liquor, where different states levy different excise duties or taxes. Then, in the explanation, it was given the highest rate will be considered as additional duty equal to excise duty. And we saw another situation where um, same or identical product is not manufactured in India, then excise duty of similar class or description or maybe category is considered as additional duty equal to excise duty. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then in section 3, subsection 2, it is how to calculate additional duty equal to excise duty. And additional duty equal to special excise duty. The formula is given for both. Okay, so what the formula says? Formula says that the first component, okay, it says accessible value. Okay, let me use short forms. Accessible value or tariff value. This is as per which section? Section 14 of Custom Act 1962. Second, duty as per section 2 of Customs Tariff Act 1975. Okay. Third, other duties and taxes for the time being in force under any other law. So basically, these two portions are taken from section 12 of Customs Act 1962. Okay, but excludes excludes what? First one, additional duty equal to excise duty, that is your section 3 subsection 1. Second, additional duty equal to special excise duty, that is section 3 subsection 3. Then third, I will just write the subsections over here. Section 3 subsection 5 duty, then section 3 subsection 7 duty, then section 3 subsection 9 duty, and also this the next one was safeguard duty, SGD, under section 8B and 8C. Then your CVD on subsidized, that is section 9, and anti-dumping duty, that is as per section 9A. So these are excluded from the calculation of additional duty equal to excise duty and additional duty equal to special excise duty. So the formula goes like this: assessable value plus BCD plus social welfare surcharge, okay, the sum of the whole into your additional duty percentage. Okay, any questions still here?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Then there
Then
was
there was
another
another section
situation which is
which is
for
for
retail
retail
goods.
goods.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
here
here
somebody's mic
somebody is
is
going to
talking,
talk.
voice is echoing on the session. It is talking about Legal Metrology Act. Okay. So we understood yesterday what retail goods were and all that. So the formula, I mean, while calculating the additional duty equal to excise duty or additional duty equal to special excise duty for goods meant for retail sale, off the shelf selling. So what is the value that has to be considered for calculating the this duty? So it was the formula was having the first component is the MRP value, okay, minus the abatement, okay. So this whatever value you get is the value to consider for calculation of additional duty equal to excise duty or special excise duty. So this is what is also there in section 3 subsection 2. Then we went further to section 3 subsection 3. So this also is talking about additional duty since it is section 3, but here it is to counter special excise duty that is levied on raw materials, components, other ingredients that are used in the manufacture of products. Okay, so it is to counter that. Okay, so this also, since it is an additional duty, it is over and above your BCD and your CVD, that is section 3 subsection 1 duty. So these are all add-on. It's not or. BCD will be there, and if at all section 3 subsection 1 duty is applicable, then that also will be applicable. And if section 3 subsection 3 duty is applicable, then that also will be applicable. So there will be 3 duties that will have to be calculated. So this is what, and formula is written in the same section 3 subsection 2, how to calculate this particular additional duty. So this is what we had done yesterday. Any questions still here? Everybody went through the revision. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
So then we will continue now. Okay. We have done all this with 3. Okay. Now we come to, see, section 3 subsection 4 is not stating or quoting any type of a duty or additional duty. It is stating that this is the provision that is there with the central government to make rules. Okay, rules for how to determine the excise duty, which excise duty, how to do the assessment of the locally made goods, and how to apply it to the imported goods for the application of additional duty. So this is all about the provision which gives the authority or the power to the central government to make rules and to issue rules that are usually followed in the application of these additional duty. Okay, so we will go to the next subsection, that is section 3 subsection 5. Now what this particular section 3 subsection 5 is, you can just have a look on the slide. I have just put a gist of it. Okay, it is talking about again additional customs duty. Okay, but here it is to counter what type of local duties and taxes. It is to counter your sales tax, local tax, and any other charges. Of course, now after GST, these taxes have been subsumed in GST. But earlier, these taxes were also prevailing. So they were being levied in different scenarios. Okay. So they were basically levied for either a sale or a purchase which is done in India. So there were different types of taxes that were in force. So in order to counter, now that was when there was a local sale or purchase in India, these taxes were being collected. But when you import a similar good, then this particular tax is not generated by the government, or it cannot be generated. So hence in section 3 subsection 5, the provision was made to create another additional duty, which is now uh, uh, equivalent to the sales tax, to the local taxes, to the value added taxes, which are in currently in force. So that was again to compensate the revenue that was not coming due to a local sale or a purchase not being done, instead are the same article being imported otherwise. Okay, so special additional duty, the term that was given to this particular duty was special additional duty, SAD. Okay, it is levied under section 3 subsection 5 of the Customs Tariff Act. And what it says is, any article which is imported into India shall, in addition, that means over and above whatever duties we have seen above or before, be liable to a special additional duty which shall be levied at a rate 4%. So here in the section itself, the rate was declared that this will be the rate that will be collected for as a special additional duty. So there was no separate kind of a tariff that you have to refer, or some kind of an act that you have to refer to get the duty rate. The section itself announced that 4% will be collected in the form of special additional duty, which is to counter or having regard to the maximum sales tax, to the local tax, or to any other charges for the time being leviable on a like article on its sale or purchase in India. However, in certain cases, SAD may be applicable at a different rate as specified by the central government. So certain exceptions were also there where SAD was, levied at a different rate other than 4%. But then it was basically announced through a notification. So that notification, some HS codes were included in that, where the SAD was either 5% or 5.5% or 3%, depending. But otherwise, in general, 4% was a standard rate that was fixed. Okay. Now let us read the section, what it says over here. So it's say the slide which I showed you all was just to a simplified form to understand, but when you read the section, it is in a bit too technical or a legal language. But now, since you all have understood the meaning of this subsection 5, so reading it will not be that difficult. So what it says is, if the central government is satisfied that it is necessary in the public interest to levy on any imported article, whether on such article duty is leviable under subsection 1, or as the case may be subsection 3, or not. See, whether you have a CVD, whether you have a special CVD or not, irrespective of that, such additional duty as would counterbalance the sales tax, the value added tax, the local tax, or any other charges for the time being leviable on a like article on its sale, purchase, or transportation in India, it may, by notification in the official gazette, direct that such imported article shall, in addition, okay, over and above section 2, over and above section 3 subsection 1, over and above section 3 subsection 3, okay, be liable to a additional duty at a rate not exceeding 4% of the value of the imported article as specified in that notification. Okay, so the rate also is declared over here, the maximum 4% duty rate. Okay, there is an explanation that is given that what is the expression sales tax, value added tax, and local tax means. So basically, it is leviable on a like article when it is being sold, or when the tax is collected on its purchase, or when the taxes are collected on the transportation services. So it means those taxes or any other charges which are currently in force, which would be leviable on a like article if sold, purchased, or transported in India, or if a like article is not sold, not purchased, or not transported, which would be leviable on the class or description of articles to which the imported article belongs. See, the logic is the same that we understood in the case of the alcoholic liquor. If the same liquor is not made in India, then a similar class or a similar description or a similar category liquors excise duty, whatever is the prevailing rate, will be considered as the additional duty equal to excise duty. So the same logic is also applied for this SAD. So if there is a sales tax rate, if there is a other taxes rates, then equivalent 4% will be levied. But if there is no sales tax or no other taxes which are levied, because the article is not the same, okay, it's not the identical article, or it's not the identical situation, then a similar or a similar class or a similar description or a similar category articles taxing rate will be considered as a counterbalance to levy this particular SAD. Okay, and if there are different rates, sales tax, or different sales tax rates, different other taxes rates, then the highest of such tax rate will be taken into account. This is what is also specified as an explanation in section 3 subsection 5. Is this understood? Section 3 subsection 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Still, I will write it down. You all also can make a note of the points, main points.
Ma'am,
Okay.
subsection 3 of subsection 4.
That is just a provision where central government uses or exercises its powers to make rules for the application of these additional duties. See, there are many rules in customs in CBIC site. If you see, where, where we click on acts, below that there is rules. So there are various rules that are also issued. So this is the provision which is giving the power or the authority to the board to issue or make such rules. Okay. So that's why we have gone directly to section 3 subsection 5, because it is talking about another type of a additional duty. So here this is talking about SAD, okay, which is to counter sales tax, local tax, and other taxes which are levied on sale, purchase, or transportation. Okay, so additional duty equal to above, but not exceeding 4%. So this was like a standard kind of a rate you can assume or state, that was fixed as a SAD rate. Okay, and if there were different tax rates, then the highest rate, and in case of same or like article not made, not sold, not purchased, or not transported in India, then what is the this logic that is considered here? Similar class or description or category is considered to apply the SAD. Okay, so this is your section 3 subsection 5. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you explain the last point?
Last point is when when the same article is not sold or not purchased or not transported in India, then a similar or class of article or a similar description of article or a similar category of article, that article's rate, sales tax rate or local tax rate or value added tax rate or any other tax rate would be considered as the to apply the special additional duty. This is similar to what we had already understood yesterday for alcoholic liquor. Okay, it's kind of a repetition that we are seeing here, but there
Okay,
it is the manufacturing, here it is selling, buying, and transportation. Okay. Okay, now we come to section 3 subsection 6. So section 3 subsection 6 talks about how to calculate SAD. Okay, means how what is the formula. So what it says, for the purpose of calculating under subsection 5. Subsection 5 is what we have just understood. that is your SAD. The additional duty on any imported article, the value of the imported article shall, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 2 or section 14 of the Customs Act 1962, 52 of 1962, be the aggregate of 1. The first component, the value of the imported article, which is determined under subsection 1 of section 14, which is your assessable value, or the tariff value of such article fixed under subsection 2 of section 14 of Custom Act. That is the tariff value. So assessable value or tariff value, the same thing is also to be considered here. Second component is any duty of customs chargeable on that article under section 12 of the Custom Act 1962, and any sum chargeable on that article under any law for the time being in force, as an addition to and in the same manner as a duty of customs. So that means, again, you see, this is repeating now what we understood in section 3 subsection 2, how to calculate your additional duty equal to excise duty and additional duty equal to special excise duty. We are seeing the same components are also being given importance over here. One is your value, that is your assessable value or your tariff value. Second, your basic customs duty, okay, or any other duty like a surcharge or any other like a cess which is applicable under any other law. That amount is also to be added. So the value is added, the BCD is added, the other duty is also added. Duty or surcharge or cess, whatever is there, is added. But what is not included? What is not included? It's given the list below. Now let's see that. So, but does not include what? 1. The duty referred in subsection 5, subsection 7 and subsection 9. Now we have not done subsection 7 and we have not done subsection 9, but we have done subsection 5. What is that?
SAD.
Correct. So SAD on SAD is not applicable. Okay. So the SAD duty is not to be included here. Okay. Second one here says the safeguard duty is not to be added. Third one says the CVD duty, which is for the subsidized articles, is also to be excluded. And the fourth one says that anti-dumping duty is also to be excluded. So then in such scenario, what are the components? One is your assessable value or tariff value. Second is your basic customs duty or any other surcharge or any other cess which is applicable under any other law. Is there anything else also to be added? Is there anything else to be added? Section 3, subsection 6. How to calculate SAD. Okay. So the formula says first component assessable value or tariff value as per section 14 Custom Act 1962. Okay. Then it says BCD, okay, which is as per section 2 of Customs Tariff Act 1975, and it says other taxes or charges under any other active law, and this both is basically by section 12 Custom Act 1962. Okay, I will leave some space here, but it says it does not include It does not include what? It does not include SAD. As per section 3 subsection 5, okay, it does not include section 3 subsection 7, it does not include section 3 subsection 9, then it does not include SGD section 8B and 8C, then it does not include your CVD on subsidized articles, which is your section 9, and it does not include anti-dumping duty, not additional, sorry, which is as per section 9A. Now tell me, does it include any other duties? Which sections are missed out over here, which we have already done? Section 3 subsection 1 and section 3 subsection 3. Additional duty equal to excise duty and additional duty equal to special excise duty. So those have to be added. Are you understanding? So the formula for calculating SAD is sum of AV plus BCD plus social welfare surcharge plus your CVD, okay, plus special CVD into SAD percentage. Got it? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was your section 3 subsection 6. So we just did now 2 sections. Section 3 subsection 5, which is talking about SAD, and then we did section 3 subsection 6, which talks about how to calculate SAD. Okay. Now we go to the next subsection. Now one of you please read subsection 7.
Subsection 7. Any article which is imported into India shall, in addition, be liable to integrated tax at such rate not exceeding 40% as is leviable under Section 5 of the Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act 2017 on a like article on its supply in India on the value of the imported article as determined under subsection 8 or subsection 8A as the case may be.
So now tell me which type of duty is being described over here.
IGST?
Correct, IGST. Okay, so your section 3 subsection 7 is talking about, it's coming under the additional customs duty category only because it is under section 3. Okay, so your IGST is also like an additional duty. But what kind of an additional duty, and to counter what? To counter the GST. Okay, so here additional customs duty for GST, that is section 3 subsection 7 of Customs Tariff Act 1975, which is commonly referred as Integrated Goods and Services Tax, IGST. Okay. So IGST is a component under GST law which is levied on goods being imported into India from other country. It has subsumed various customs duties, including CVD and special additional duty, that is SAD. It is leviable to counterbalance the effect of GST, that is payable on supply of like goods in India. It is payable as IGST as per Section 5 of the IGST Act. Now, this is another act, IGST Act. Okay. Please understand, you remember when I started off with the duties thing, I explained to you that there is a constitution. In the constitution, there is a law which is made. Once the law is made, then there is an implementation of the law. So there has to be a law which will announce that a tax will be levied, and then after that the tax is implemented. Okay, so IGST Act is brought into force, and then the IGST tax rate is implemented. Okay, in the GST regime, IGST will be levied on imports by virtue of subsection 7 of section 3 of the Customs Tariff Act 1975. IGST, wherever applicable, would be levied on cargo that would arrive on or after 1st July 2017. Okay, it may also be noted that IGST would also be levied on cargo which has arrived prior to 1st July